Hey, you guys, welcome to part 6, the final installment of my movie ticket collection. Now, I'm going to get it started off with a couple of films that I saw in the early part of 2008. First one being Rambo with Sylvester Stallone, the fourth installment of the series, just simply titled Rambo, which awesome movie. Go check it out. Much more bloodier, much more violent than the last three Rambo flicks combined. Sylvester Stallone brings it as always as John Rambo. Good story to it, good action, loads of it this time. Still had a good story, but just loads and loads of action. So much gore and brutality. I put this above all the other Rambo movies, even though I enjoyed watching the other three. I still like this one. I like them all equally. Well, except the third film. That was kind of like my least favorite, but it was still pretty watchable. I like all the Rambo films, but I like this one the best because it's just much more brutal, much more violent. Um, there is another Rambo film in the works. Word has it. I'm more than willing to give that a shot. Love all the Rambo films, and Sylvester Stallone, more than physically able to do that as his age. He's kind of like 60 something now, 62, 63, but still buffed as all hell. So still enjoy seeing him in the movies. Looking forward to the Expendables too. That's going to be a kick-ass movie. So anybody who's a fan of Sylvester Stallone should check out Rambo. Awesome movie. Next film I have is Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay, the sequel to 2004's really, really funny comedy Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. And this film picks up where the last film left off, with Harold and Kumar, played by John Cho and Cal Penn, trying to catch a plane to Amsterdam to visit Harold's love interest, Maria, and they get into all sorts of wacky situations like they did in the last film. This is much more raunchier, much has more gross humor than the first film, but still pretty watchable. Pushes the envelope a little bit, but still a pretty funny movie. So, Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. I saw it on February, no, April, April the 29th, 2008, 2:40 p.m. show, $6. Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. Another movie I have is one that I saw on Halloween of last year, 2008, and that would be The Haunting of Molly Hartley. I'm kind of on the fence on this movie. It's not a bad movie, but it's not exactly a good one either. It's just kind of in between. Sort of a little interesting premise, kind of a little like teen-oriented supernatural like suspense thriller type thing. But this had a pretty decent story. Just the execution was a bit off, but this was an interesting experience. This movie came out the same day as Kevin Smith's Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Me being a Kevin Smith fan, I wanted to check that out, but I want to give this one a chance because I'm a fan of movies that aren't well known, kind of under the radar, kind of indie style. I don't know if this film fits that whole category, but I decided to give it a shot. It was an alright experience, just a good time waster. This is just a rental wise, if it piques your curiosity, just give it a rent and judge for yourself. So, Haunting of Molly Hartley. Next film I have is one that I saw in 2007, and that would be Superbad, produced by Judd Apatow, directed by Greg Mottola, who went on to do most recently Adventureland with Ryan Reynolds, Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, Bill Hader, and Kristen Wiig. I want to check that film out pretty soon, but Superbad, of course, produced by Apatow, directed by Greg Mottola, and written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Seth Rogen also appears in the film as well, and this stars Jonah Hill and Michael Cera as Seth and Evan, named after the writers. Seth Rogen appears along with Bill Hader as two of the worst cops ever. Christopher Mintz-Plasse, a dude who I haven't seen in movies before this film, does a pretty good performance as Fogel, aka McLovin, the geeky, goofy party animal and best friend of those two guys. I thought he was a pretty good character. One actress that deserves a mention in that film is Martha McIsaac, who plays Evan's love interest, Becca. She would go on to play Paige in The Last House on the Left remake. Very beautiful Canadian actress. She hasn't done only these two films. What am I saying? This and The Last House on the Left are like the only two films I've seen her in so far. But I'd love to see her in some more stuff. She's a very good actress, very beautiful. So, go check out Superbad if you haven't seen it already. Very funny movie. And I think I have time for these two more. I don't want to go over on this too much. So, Valkyrie, which stars Tom Cruise and is directed by Bryan Singer, same guy who did Usual Suspects, X-Men 1 and 2, Apt Pupil, and Superman Returns. This I mentioned in my way back in my very first DVD update vid. Saw this first part of the new year, January 6, 2009, 1:20 p.m. show, $5. I always like to go to the theater early so I can pay less on the tickets. It's a pretty good time to go. But like I mentioned in that I'm sorry, what am I saying? Yeah, please forgive me. I'm just trying to wake up. Just drunk some coffee earlier, so bear with me, people. Yeah, like I mentioned in my first DVD update vid, not a huge fan of Tom Cruise, but I like all the films he's been in so far. Well, not all the films, just some of the films he's been in. Collateral being one of my favorite films that he's in. And this one is a pretty good movie, too, which tells a tale of the attempted assassination of Adolf Hitler and the men behind it. Don't let the fact that Tom Cruise is in it turn you off. Just try to go in with an open mind, and just sit back and let the story engulf you. Because I personally think this is a very good, very well made movie. So if you get a chance, go check out Valkyrie. Last film I have is one that I saw in 2006, and that is When a Stranger Calls. This is the remake of the 1979 film of the same name, and the premise of this film is kind of switched around a little bit, and this time focuses on the babysitter and the guy who's been killing people around the neighborhood, just taunting her on the phone, telling, "Have you checked the children?" Just messing with her head. This movie gets a lot of crap, but me personally, I think I like it. Yeah, it's a good little guilty pleasure of mine. Not a horror like slasher film type, but more like a little suspense thriller. But I like this movie a lot. I watch it on DVD every once in a while. Try and give it a shot if you're into it. I like When a Stranger Calls. Go check it out. Saw this back when it was open. AFC Livonia Mall, which is since then has been closed and torn down. Saw it way back then. Another film I paid $5 for. Don't mind it. When a Stranger Calls. One of my favorite guilty pleasures. Check it out. And that's it for my little series of tickets. Thank you guys for watching and commenting and rating. I appreciate all the good comments that you put on my videos, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed them. Thanks, and I will talk to you guys later. Long live the reign of terror. Take care.